The EU AI Act Newsletter Number 55. First ever meeting of the AI Board. By Risto Uk. Subtitle: The AI Board met for the first time to lay the groundwork for the implementation of the AI Act. Welcome to the EU AI Act Newsletter, a brief bi-weekly newsletter by the Future of Life Institute providing you with up-to-date developments and analyses of the EU artificial intelligence law. Heading: Legislative Process. AI Board's first meeting. The inaugural meeting of the upcoming AI Board convened on June 19th at the European Commission building, ahead of the AI Act's formal entry into force expected in early August. The gathering aimed to lay the groundwork for the Act's implementation, focusing on strategic vision, national governance approaches, initial deliverables, and organizational matters such as the Board's mandate and leadership selection. Attendees included high-level delegates from all EU member states, European Commission representatives, and the European Data Protection Supervisor as an observer. EA/EFTA members Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland also attended in an observing capacity. The meeting emphasized the importance of early collaboration on the AI Act's implementation. Discussions covered the Board's role, supervision strategies, and the Commission's priorities for implementation. A follow-up meeting is scheduled for early autumn after the AI Act enters into force. Heading: Analyses. Data transparency requirement for general-purpose AI. Zuzanna Warso and Paul Keller from Open Future together with Maximilian Gauntz from Mozilla published a proposal for implementing the AI Act's training data transparency requirement for general-purpose AI, GPI. Article 53(1)(d) in the Act requires providers of GPI models to publish a detailed summary of training content. The summaries should cover data sources and sets as well as narrative explanations. Warso, Keller, and Gauntz propose a template for these summaries, emphasizing comprehensive scope and sufficient technical detail to benefit both experts and laypeople. The summaries should list primary data collections and provide narrative explanations of other data sources and clearly distinguish data sources, origins, and datasets, processed data points. This transparency requirement aims to strengthen individuals' and organizations' ability to exercise their rights, enable the research and scrutiny of one of the key inputs in the AI development process, and enhance accountability across the AI industry. General-purpose AI interpretation. Senior AI correspondent Luca Bertuzzi at MLex wrote an op-ed on how the regulations for general-purpose AI, GPI, models might ripple down the value chain. Bertuzzi states that the rules of GPI models were meant to apply to the likes of OpenAI, Anthropic, and Mistral, but the law's preamble suggests a broader scope, extending obligations to anyone who modifies or fine-tunes GPI models, proportionate to the level of modification. He says that European companies did not expect this expansion of duties down the value chain. He adds that the implications for downstream operators modifying systemic risk models remain unclear, particularly regarding compliance requirements like red teaming exercises or risk mitigation systems. While GPI model providers can demonstrate compliance through recognized codes and standards, it is uncertain if downstream operators will be involved in developing these tools. The European Commission's AI office may struggle to monitor all model fine-tuners and thus focus on top providers, only investigating the entire value chain when issues arise. Alternatively, they might examine samples of fine-tuned models and rely on scientific community input to identify potential societal risks. Assessing pros and cons. Don Jin, emerging tech foresight analyst, and Maria Kumen, governance lead, both at ICFG, asked in Tech Policy Press whether the AI Act is a regulatory exemplar or a cautionary tale. Jun and Kumen write that the Act's key strengths include the following. 1. Prohibiting certain AI systems, such as social credit scoring, to prevent erosion of social norms. 2. Setting minimal requirements for AI use in sensitive sectors to prevent harmful deployment and promote human-centric AI development. 3. Regulating general-purpose AI models and recognizing their widespread impact and the limitations of downstream providers. And 4. adopting a pragmatic risk classification approach, particularly for general-purpose AI models, using compute thresholds to differentiate risk levels. Yet in the author's view, the Act also has many shortcomings. It risks becoming ineffective due to unclear rules and insufficient enforcement capacity. Equally, the requirements for high-compute general-purpose AI models have potential loopholes and may quickly become outdated. To future-proof the Act, they suggest that the EU drafts clearer rules, improves enforcement strategies, and includes additional safeguards for next-generation general-purpose AI models. Updates from European AI standards writing. CNCNLEC Technical Committee JTC 21 is making progress on writing the AI Act-related standards. Its Strategic Advisory Working Group is resolving comments on the Architecture of Standards document. The Operational Aspects Working Group is developing new work items on conformity assessment and quality management systems. They are also creating a risk management standard with a catalog with sources of AI risk, their potential consequences, and risk management measures. The Engineering Aspects Working Group is working on standards for quality and governance of datasets, bias management, natural language processing, and logging. The Foundational and Societal Aspects Working Group is developing a trustworthiness framework and exploring impact assessments for fundamental rights. Stakeholders are encouraged to provide input to JTC 21 on their expectations for trustworthy AI. General-purpose AI model evaluation. Marius Hobhan, the CEO and co-founder of Apollo Research, published an op-ed in Euractiv discussing how the AI Act's governance of general-purpose AI models with systemic risk heavily relies on evaluations. Hobhan argues that maturing the evaluation sector is crucial for successful implementation because valuations are increasingly central to governance frameworks proposed by governments and leading AI companies. Evaluations aim to identify AI systems' capabilities and propensities for potential risks and mitigation strategies before high-stakes deployment. The Act requires providers of general-purpose AI models with systemic risk to conduct, pass, and document evaluations, with compliance achievable through adherence to codes of practice. To support trust in the evaluations ecosystem, Hobhan recommends 3 key areas of focus. 1. Strengthening the field's scientific rigor by focusing on what evaluations can and cannot achieve. 2. Empowering the EU AI Office with adequate oversight and adaptability through the scientific panel, codes of practice, and reporting on evaluation successes and failures. And 3. Planning for future challenges by raising safety standards, mandating independent evaluations, overseeing evaluators, and developing evaluations for future AI capabilities. This newsletter was narrated by Type 3 Audio for the Future of Life Institute. It was first published on June 25, 2024. To report an issue or give feedback on this narration, go to t3a.is.